So you guys are in my.
You got everybody? What is the class?
See?
This class is the topic is on TBI, traumatic brain injury, okay?
TBI.
This class should only take, this speech should only take about 10-15 minutes the most, okay?
What is it, TBI?
Traumatic brain injury. There are multiple factors that we have to keep in mind when dealing with TBI, traumatic brain injuries. If you are not dealing with it properly, some troops think about suicide. There's over 250,000 troops a year who commit suicide because of it. Okay, you're in a profession where you're exposed. It will happen when you become engaged with something, whether it be from the enemy or the training aids that you have, that you will come across a concussion. Okay. Around 2010, that's when I was conducting route clearance. Okay. I can tell you from my personal experience, it happens in a split second, blink of an eye. Explosion went off, and the driver, Specialist Baca, my gunner, Specialist Clark, and the Lieutenant Story, everybody was wondering why had this happened. Most of the time when something like that happens, not all of us can walk away with all your limbs, okay, much less your health. The vehicle was totally destroyed, and because of it, we were not the same person that we were before the incident happened. I thought it was the same, but because I thought, hey, I can handle this, I'm good. That was only halfway through the deployment, so that when I came back from the deployment itself, when the health provider, did an assessment on me, and my family told me I get irritated so easily, and the way my outburst would happen, it was something for me to keep in mind that I needed to get some treatment. The way I am with you all is not as close as when I came back from that deployment. Because of treatment, I am able to hold my anger a lot more. So that is one of the things that it worked well for me, and it could work well with whoever you know has been involved in a concussion. Okay. The things that we will discuss is how it happens. Okay, what are some of the things that could happen with that could cause you TBI? Also, we will discuss a little bit of how you can deal with it. Okay. Also, the options, the treatments that you can use for yourself. Treatment and TBI go hand in hand with family. If you are dealing with TBI yourself, I hope you never do. You're not going to be the only one dealing with it. Your families, your loved ones, the people around you, your team, and especially when you're deployed away from family. Like right now, this is all you've got is your family. So be mindful, be aware. There are many things and people, programs that are there for help. One of them is the VA. The VA conducts a lot of research, a lot of treatment. A lot of professionals, a lot of doctors are, even psychologists, they're involved into being there for the troops who have been involved with traumatic brain injury. It's a life-changing event in your life that could make you or break you. Okay. One of the things that we have to look at is the signs and symptoms. Okay. The major symptom that we all showed was anger. Something as simple as we didn't like something, or somebody talked to us the wrong way. or somebody kept on asking the same questions over and over, or the same training routine will set it off. So be mindful, some of the things that people go through, and the symptoms, the physical behavior, the way it messes with everybody, psychology, is for you to be mindful and ask questions. The right questions could always get the right treatment. Okay. When somebody gets in a concussion in a way that is considered for you to have a traumatic brain injury, it's a red flag for the command, for your battle buddies, for the people around you. In order for you to be able to accomplish the mission properly, you have to be able to focus. Sometimes you cannot focus because you have ringing in the ears, pounding in your head, kind of like a migraine. You have some thoughts of anger for simple things. Your boots are not bloused properly. Your uniform is not ironed. You didn't shave properly. Your hair on the females is touching the collar. Little things like that. And it'll set little things off. So be mindful of why is your NCO, your battle buddy, your troop, getting so angry for little things. Okay? It affects the mission. So be mindful of how you can be aware of these signs that you should be able to help your battle buddy, your NCO, your troop. There are many things that you can do to be able to take care of the issue one step at a time. One of them is through family. Family is the one that gets affected the most. The ones you live with are the ones who really know you. The way you behave at work is not the same as you behave at home. It's not the same as you behave with your friends. At home, everybody knows who you really are. And if they're saying, hey, you need help. If you think you don't, when your family says you are not the same, that's when you should stop and think about, what am I really doing? Why are they telling me this? So the more you know, you can go always ask like I said a while ago, the VA has many options to assist every single one of you and myself. There's doctors who emphasize on a lot of how do you say the word? Treatments with troops who come back from a war-torn country. Okay, it's not the same as when you travel to go as a tourist to France, to Russia, to Mexico. It is not the same. You go to Iraq, Afghanistan, Syria, with your gear, and once you arrive in country, whether it be 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, or even 15 months, depending on the time of your deployment, it affects the way you live from that moment on. So remember that there are many families who go through all this. They have networks who can always, Army One Source is a perfect help for you when you come across somebody that you know that is going through issues with TBI. You can always make a phone call and tell them the symptoms that you see. You tell them, hey, my friend, my girlfriend, my boyfriend, my NCO, my troop, is not the same. It's more irritable. It's more angrier. It's just to name a few examples. When you start asking, what do I do? What are my options? How can I help? And they deal with this every day. Like I said before, over 250,000 deaths by suicide from traumatic brain injuries every year. So be careful on when you see a battle buddy in need. The worst thing you can do is avoid dealing with it, ignoring the symptoms. The worst thing you can do is do nothing. Okay? If it's something as simple as asking questions, you'll never know how much help you'll be giving that one person. A shoulder to cry on, ears to listen. Something as simple as giving your time, a few minutes, will make a world of difference. So we talked about when you're in the military, you get into concussions, whether it be explosives, whether it be contact with the enemy, any other events that you go through as you train up physically, and when you come back, you are not the same. Once you get back, ensure that you don't lie to nobody saying, hey, I'm good, I'm the same person, because you're not. You might see things that you've never seen in the States or where you're from. And the more you talk about it, the more people can understand where you're coming from. Understanding the right treatment, because not everybody's the same. San Winters is not the same as San Humphreys, is not the same as San Yepes. We're not the same. And if we're all in the same blast, like I was saying a while ago, with my gunner, my driver, the lieutenant, the combat commander, once it happens, it affected us differently. So keep in mind that you know who you are, how much you think you're able to take. But if somebody starts asking questions on what you used to be to the way you are now, then it's something for you to stop and reflect. So, with this said, my conclusion to this speech is, in the profession you're in a profession that you chose to be in because nobody was drafted, the best person to start the right treatment in case you come in contact with something that makes you do something you would not usually do back in the States, and to involve a concussion that will cause TBI, which is traumatic brain injury, is going to affect you. And knowing those things that could cause a change in your physical behavior, and in your attitude, and the way you carry yourself, and when people start asking questions, is the beginning of your treatment.